It started at the table. The room was warm, humming with the small sounds of silverware and forced laughter. My wife's hand rested on my arm, steady, gentle. Across from us, my daughter sat quietly, her eyes fixed on the untouched food in front of her. 3 years. That's how long it had been since they'd seen each other. When she finally looked up, my wife froze. I felt her body tighten beside me, fingers digging into my sleeve. Her eyes went wide, then cold. I thought she was just overwhelmed. Then she leaned in, her breath trembling against my ear. "We need to go to the police, right now." My fork stopped midair. "Why?" She swallowed hard. Her voice came out as a whisper that barely existed. "Didn't you see? That child's—" She didn't finish. But I saw it then, or thought I did. A flicker in my daughter's eyes, something unfamiliar, like a shadow behind her face. And for the first time since the divorce, I felt the air leave the room. That night, I couldn't sleep. My wife said she dreamed of my daughter's eyes, said something in them wasn't human. I wanted to tell her she was being cruel. Instead, I told her I'd talk to my ex-wife. But she didn't want that. She wanted the police. She wanted proof. Her fear was real, raw, trembling. But it didn't make sense. My daughter had been through enough. Therapy, custody hearings, whispers in school hallways. I'd promised to protect her. Still, something in my wife's voice stuck with me. The way she said, "that child," not your daughter. I replayed the dinner in my mind. The faint scars at the corner of my daughter's neck. The way she flinched when my wife smiled. How she called me Dad, slowly, as if testing whether she still could. Then the message came. A photo. Blurry, low light. My daughter, standing outside my ex-wife's house at night. The text underneath. "She's not supposed to be here. She's supposed to be gone." No sender name, no number I recognized. I sat in the dark for hours, watching that photo, feeling something shift inside me, like a crack in ice. The next day, I drove to my ex-wife's house. She wasn't home, but the back door was unlocked. The smell inside was sharp, bleach and something else, faintly metallic. On the wall above the couch, where family pictures used to hang, there was only one frame left. My daughter, age 9, standing beside my ex-wife. Someone had scratched out my face. I found the rest in the basement, boxes of documents, photos, and one torn journal with my daughter's name inside. The entries were scattered, uneven, written in 2 handwritings, one childish, one older, colder. The older one repeated one line again and again: "He must never know." I didn't understand what I was reading until I found the last page. It wasn't written by my daughter, it was written about her. Notes, observations, behavior logs, as if she'd been part of some kind of study. The final line, "Transfer complete. Subject integrated." That night, my wife pretended to sleep beside me, but I saw her phone light up at 2:13 a.m. A message flashed across the screen before she turned it face down. "He's getting close." I didn't confront her right away. I waited, observed, let the fear rot into clarity. When she went out for groceries, I checked the phone. Hidden folder, videos, my ex-wife, my daughter, and her, all 3 in a hospital room. My daughter unconscious, wires taped to her temples. My wife speaking to someone off screen, memory synchronization complete, emotional response neutralized. And then she smiled. Cold, professional, not my wife's smile. The truth didn't land like an explosion. It came like frost, slow, creeping, absolute. She wasn't just my wife. She'd been assigned. My daughter wasn't just distant. She was changed. When she came home that night, I was calm. I poured her a glass of wine, Set the phone between us on the table. No words, just the video playing, the sound of her own voice filling the kitchen. She didn't beg, she didn't deny. She only said, quietly, "You were never supposed to see that." I asked one question. What did you do to her? Her eyes softened, almost pitying. She isn't her anymore. I didn't call the police. I sent the footage to a journalist instead, the kind who doesn't sleep until the world burns. Then I watched my wife walk out of the house, barefoot, silent, carrying nothing. By morning, her name was everywhere. The hospital, the research group, the government contract no one had heard of. And my daughter, what was left of her, was taken for evaluation. They said they'd help her. I didn't believe them, but I didn't stop them either. Some things can't be undone. It's been 6 months. The house is quiet. The photos are gone. The walls still hum when the wind hits just right, like there's something inside them, remembering. I still see her sometimes, my daughter, or what looked like her, in the corner of my dreams. She never speaks, just watches. I wake before she disappears, every time. I used to think truth brought peace, but peace is a story we tell ourselves to survive guilt. The truth doesn't heal, it empties. And once you've seen what hides behind love, behind faces you trusted, you stop wanting peace. You settle for silence.